The numbers told the story. They always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is A Numbers Game with Gill Alexander on VSiN.
Hour number 3 of A Numbers Game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, SiriusXM Channel 158. However you're taking us in, I am very grateful to you. Always appreciate it. Never take that for granted. Best listeners in the game. Have I said that recently? I mean it. Speaking of which, here are some tweets. Rocco Salperto. Gill, please ask Crack his thoughts on the upcoming proposal by Chip Myers for a $550 million, 20,000-seat thoroughbred horse track located between Mandalay and the M. Thursday to Saturday night racing from November to April. Wow, I will ask him about that here momentarily. Jared Still. Gilly, Warren Sharp avoided the question. We aren't really concerned if he's in Nova or Nova Scotia. Is that theater in his home? That's what we need to know. Yes, it's Northern Virginia, and yes, that's in his home, are the answers. Bama Sluggers, thank you, sir. Just ordered the Warren Sharp preview guide. Can't wait to dig in. Scola, got it. Downloaded. Thanks, Warren. And Darren Fraser, Crack. Did you say crack, Gilly? I always get a little twitchy when I know it's my favorite time of the week. School is in session. Being addicted to Bill Krackomberger is good for your bankroll. Let's go. Yes, with thanks to Warren Sharp, Paul Carr, Will Hill for joining us earlier, it's time for the main event. Let's go. Unscripted with the Crack Man, Bill Krackomberger. Oh, yeah. Billy.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How we doing? You have Warren on.
Very color. Yes, we have Warren on.
I'm a black and blue guy. I don't know what color this is.
I'm going to go teal.
Teal. A little teal.
I'm going to go teal. Yeah, you and Warren go way back.
Yes, 20 years.
When I first
Almost
met
20
you,
years.
well, you had just met Warren as well.
Yeah, I was contacted by a friend of his, and I'm always thinking everyone's come on, you're beating NFL.
Yeah.
And I still don't bet NFL sides, though, unless you're living in Las Vegas here, and you can get this extra half a points from some of the small books. Some of the books like, not a small book, Stations, maybe even the Win, having some rogue numbers. You can actually, if you live in Las Vegas, there is advantages for NFL. The half points, they like an individual casino like the Win we talk about. Someone comes in from the pit, and Doug has to take his bet of $300,000 with 30 minutes to post, and now he goes from 7 to 8 to try to get some action back on the other side. So there is advantages like that, but Warren definitely beat the totals over the years, and now he's into some different things. He's doing some props and stuff. And last year I was I watched. I sat. He gives me every play, and I didn't bet a single one. I actually was there watching him because props is kind of a new. He did Super Bowl props, but this was pretty new, and he had a good season last year. We were watching this stuff.
I remember when we first met, it was like 2012, and I remember Warren being there on his computer. This is in the back of the Hard Rock Sportsbook. You might remember this. Yep. Remember when it was like Cantor Gaming, red antiseptic seats, and there was a little booth in the back with our backs to the circle bar area. And it was you, it was me, it was Warren. Rufus was there. Like it was a whole. This is years and years ago, man.
Yeah. That was. So then some of the sharp guys that came up in that room were the guys that were moving for someone else or running for someone else, and then there was of course the downfall of the entire thing because of situations there and
situations.
I'm so glad I never got involved, to be honest with you, with a lot of the things that I was offered over there from the bettors, not from but it just it's just such a tough town to trust a lot of people, and even if they're moving for someone, they have to have those internal skill sets, and of not falling victim to after they're off of work and nighttime and blowing the money, and oh boy, it can be a lot of bad things can happen. But I seen Warren out in the sports book there. They put him up on the big screen. Or on the big screen. Look at that, how pretty.
Hey, look.
Okay, so I seen Warren. He got the nice thing going on with the I wonder if he's putting the shoe polish in the mustache now.
I think so, in the mustache.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
But
it's a whole nother matter.
I listen. I brought Warren on the Showtime action at Monmouth Park.
That's right.
He had a little bow tie.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
We had a lot of fun with him. Now that person that asked you about the racing.
Yes. Let's start there with that question.
Yeah, that question. It's this proposal is real. A horse race track.
I have not heard this. This is the first I'm hearing.
Even though it's the winter, it's in November, it still could be really hot for the horses here. Were they going to just ship them out of town when it turns 95? Degrees. Right. I'm one that I'm an animal lover, so I'm not even. I can't stand the dog race tracks, and I can't stand when you hear that. That I went after Saratoga for their harness track. Their barns burned down and killed like 16 horses a few months back, and so I don't think we need a racetrack here. There was a racetrack here, by the way.
Oh, there was?
Yeah, like 60, 70 years ago. Someone can confirm the years. I don't know what year. There was a racetrack here, though.
Not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
You're not a horse bettor.
I'm not a
either.
horse guy, but there is a trainer, Repole Stables, Mike Repole, and I think he sold some businesses like Smart Water. He's a billionaire. So I found out those last couple of weeks from multiple people have been sending me, my buddy Russ is really into horses, and my friend Paul, really into horses, goes to Del Mar every year. I used to go to Del Mar maybe once a year. I used to go to Saratoga every year because when I lived on the East Coast, made the trek there every single summer with my buddies. It wasn't really a bettor. It's more it's a great mixture of people, and it's
great people watching.
It's just people watching and being at the historic wooden racetrack that's been there 100+. It's just such great things. So there's been a couple scandals lately in the horse race game, and I, like you, I am not immersed in it. Like Chris Felica knows a lot more than we know about this, but I know there's a lot of talks going on, and like there's some really big scandals going on with someone that was on Twitter that actually turned in Bob Baffert years ago when Baffert got in trouble and he was banned from certain racetracks. Well, he's doing it. He found out some more things again, and supposedly this is some real stuff. So I reached out to Mike. I hope I'm saying his name right, Repole, and
Repole.
Repole, yeah. He's a very big trainer though, and he's a good guy supposedly. Someone just texted me, Richard. Thank you, Richard. Repole. Okay, yeah. Repole. So I reached out, and I was happy enough to get a response because I have someone that knows him, and happy enough to get a response. And he said, please contact Pat Cummings, who runs National Thoroughbred Alliance. It's his National Thoroughbred Alliance. So I think we're gonna have someone on to talk a little bit more about horse racing and what's going on in that.
I had Peter Fornital on last week.
Okay.
Talking about the scandal with the trainer who had 6 horses running, 4 of which won their respective races in like a 90-minute-ish span here in the United States at different racetracks. All the betting was done in England. Like it was like a very coordinated attack. So that's still under investigation.
Okay.
But the people who won the money, you're not getting that money back. What's won is won.
I just don't think we need a racetrack here. We have enough.
I don't either.
Vice in town.
That's right. What else can we come up with?
I have a bunch of things to actually talk about because of. We'll start right out with. This guy outside just handed me these bracelets for the VSiN crew here. If anyone wants to go to the. Okay, so it's fantasy football draft day. So tomorrow's like a national holiday for a lot of draft people. They're having out. Circus Swim's supposed to have 1,000 people tomorrow night out here. I think it's 6:30 to 11, he said. And then the next day, 5 to 7 p.m., and they have a lot of things going on there. Open bar, 1,000 people. It's supposed to be a really big event here, so I have some free bracelets here for the crew.
Nice.
So that's something that Circa's involved in, and they have a lot of political people coming because they're trying to make it a national draft day holiday or something like that. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing what the gentleman outside told me.
Make it a holiday. Jeez.
Yeah. Okay, you ready to bury Nifty?
Let's bury Nifty.
The Bury Nifty segment?
That's all I've been waiting for. Yes.
So, by the way, look what I brought in.
Oh.
One of his bottles of water.
That's
from a Lexus dealer.
Oh, why is it a Lexus dealership?
Oh, it doesn't matter. He goes into all the dealerships.
And just gets free water?
Yeah, the Kia. He'll go in the Kia, grab 6 bottles. Lexus, he acts like he wants to look for something, like he's waiting for a car or something to be fixed.
For those who don't know, explain who Nifty is. Our buddy
Frank
Nifty.
Sinatra's assistant for 15 years, been all over the world with Frank. Been all over the world with Tom Jones. Tom Jones gave him his name. He was Tom. There was a lot of Larrys, and Tom Jones said, you're pretty nifty. Let's use Nifty. It's stuck. So, worked for Frank Sinatra for years, and he just a perfect example is. So, he was Frank's right-hand man, doing everything, getting things set up, everything, make sure he had everything. Perfect example of what Nifty's over with. Oh, boy, this is bad now. So he's in Monte Carlo. And he's playing for Rainier. Prince Rainier and his wife, I think, was was Grace Kelly.
Grace Kelly.
Grace Kelly, his
Princess
wife.
Grace, yeah.
And he was over there, and he went over for every year. He went over there for a gala, and like Frank calls him up, Nifty, come on up to the room. You know, they were staying in the hotel. Come on up to the room. We're gonna. I got a couple things, and he knew he was going to be doing this for a couple nights, and he calls up Nifty the second night, and he's like, God, I'm working for this guy for years. How do I get out of this? He wants to just come up to the room. We'll eat something, and we'll watch Hawaii 5-0. That was the show he liked. Frank liked. And like Nifty the next night lied to him. I said, wait a minute, hold on. What do you mean? He goes, Bill, I couldn't take it no more. I can't go in there. We're going to go up in our pajamas and robe and something and watch Hawaii 5. He said, I just lied and said I'm going on some vacation. I'm going on some trip. He did that multiple times, especially at Caesar's Palace. He said, he would have a lot of people come up to the room sometimes, but this particular night, and Nifty's like, no, I got to go see a girl or something. Like he lied. Who would lie
to Sinatra
to miss a meal with Frank Sinatra, hang out? But I guess it's like everything.
It's everything.
Every
man.
night you're with someone.
Yeah.
But so Nifty this week. Let me tell you his exploits. He breaks his phone in a zillion pieces 6 months ago, and let's just call it what it is. He's too frugal to fix the phone. It's getting worse and worse and worse. I said, listen, you got to go get a phone. So he finally went and got a phone, and he wanted to get a cover for the phone, and he said Walmart was too expensive. I said, I'll order one for you on Amazon Prime, and I ordered it for him. It was $18.88 for the phone and the front cover, and he just didn't want to give the money up. He was, and then finally he takes a 20 out, and he's waiting for the $1.12 change. I said, you really are sick. You really are sick. You have a lot of problems. I'm just letting you know. So Nifty. Little thing about Nifty, but
he wouldn't give you the 20.
No, he's sick. He's got a lot of mental problems.
We love you, Nifty. More with the Crack Man, Bill Krackomberger. See if Nifty ever gets on this show. I'm thinking, maybe not.
Maybe.
Coming back.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Football season is right around the corner, and just like the players, you need your reps before week one. The Sharps has a free weekly league that lets you practice the same football plays you already study. Props, sides, totals, combos. Everyone starts with 10,000 chips. Build your stack, climb the leaderboard, and sharpen your reads before the season kicks off. Enter at jointhesharps.com. That's jointhesharps.com. Or scan the QR code on the screen right there. Use code VSiN50 for a 50% deposit bonus up to $100. That's jointhesharps.com and use promo code VSiN50. Bama Sluggers on Twitter has, through the use of AI, got a picture of a young, fresh-faced Bill Krackomberger. He says, when I hear the intro music for Crack, I can't help but think he's going to enter like Ric Flair.
That's great.
Through smoke in a sequin robe. Dr. Van Nostrad, no one tells a shady tale like Crack. Bill Krackomberger didn't invent telling gambling tales, but he perfected it. And then Rick Ollier, Nifty, the flipper. I'm just waiting on Crack to give us a story about the real Jimmy Two Times. I'm going to go get the papers. Get the papers. Yeah. That's a good point, what he's talking about. Is there any walk of life, is there any corner of the world that has the characters that our little corner of the world has?
No, I talked about that recently on a show. I said their characters are going away, though.
Yes.
Because the younger generation, they're raised on social media and analytics even, let's say. That like the people in the sports books, the kids aren't like the characters of years ago.
No.
So you're absolutely right. And those nicknames and stuff, that's going to die off. Yeah.
Joey Pants. People like that. Yeah.
Pants was the guy that was on The Sopranos, too. That's his nickname.
Oh, yeah.
I just can't think of his name. Ralphie he played.
Yeah.
Joey Pants is his nickname. Yeah.
You ever go back and watch The Sopranos, by the way?
Every year.
Do you really?
Yeah,
every
in
year?
the off season. So usually after like March Madness is over, when baseball starts, I'll try to. It's funny. I didn't do it this year, but I do it every year. Normally, I watch the whole entire Sopranos over again from beginning to start. It's one of my favorite series of all time. But there's just not a lot of time this year. There wasn't enough time for TV.
It's a big investment of time.
Something I did watch though this it's about 10 episodes. The only thing I can think that I watched. This is the second time I've watched it, at least. I might have watched it back in New Jersey once with some friends, too, because we love The Godfather. And I think it's called The Offer. The Offer was fantastic. The making of The Godfather from the producer, Albert Ruddy, from his vision.
What's that on? Wow.
It was so good. It's so good. I mean, it's Albert Ruddy, who's the producer of the movie, making how hard it was to make this movie, dealing with mob guys, dealing with the different actors and how they didn't want the studio didn't want Pacino. They were like, no, that's it. We don't want him. He's out. You know, The Offer. That's it. That's The Offer.
Okay.
Just one season, and it's just about.
What's it on? What network?
Paramount. It says Paramount Plus.
Okay.
Miles Teller played Albert Ruddy. It was fantastic. The guy that played Robert Evans, very famous. Robert Evans was a giant studio guy. It was so good that I watched. Now it's funny that people don't know it, and everyone loves The Godfather.
Yes.
Who doesn't like The Godfather?
Right.
This was the actual making of The Godfather and how hard it was to make it.
The Offer.
The Offer. It's fantastic.
And you were saying, we were having a conversation about this last night, that on some of these films, like, people don't even realize who's consulting on them, and you can tell the really authentic ones. What was the Joe Pesci line where he's saying, oh, they'll go right back. They're all degens. They'll go right back and bet it. And Lefty, what movie was this?
Casino.
Casino.
And the line was when it was filmed in Piero's at the bar there.
Yes.
When the guy came in, Al, that was the character's name, and Al comes in, and he comes in, he's broke, he's borrowing money off Pesci, but let's use the real. Tony Spilotro was the real guy, and Nicky Santoro in the movie was the fake name they gave him, but it was about Tony Spilotro. And he goes, yeah, I used to always put money out on the streets to the dealers, the waitresses. They're all degenerates anyway. They used to get off work and gamble anyway. But so he gave the money to Al, the $600, and he's like, Frankie, call your wife. The heat's off, and I gave you money, and you didn't pay the heat and electric. Did you gamble the money? Remember, he said, did you gamble?
Yeah.
And he starts, yeah. I was, I knew you would. The degenerate kids at home,
but like a detail like that, like they'll just go back and gamble it anyway. You and I have been here long enough where we know staff in some of these casinos.
Sure.
And then we will see them on the slot machines right after their shift doing stuff. So it's clearly based in some authenticity. And you were saying, why? Because Lefty Rosenthal was consulting the movie.
No one ever knew it during the movie filming. They kept it real quiet. They kept it, Lefty himself, with Sam, I almost said, Sam A's Rothstein character was Lefty Rosenthal. And he was one of the consultants. And of course, Frank Collada, who was, Tony Spilotro's, one of his right-hand men there. And spent many years in jail. He used to give tours here in Vegas. He died a few years ago, but he had a podcast. I thought it was really good, really informative. He was not only was he on the set for every single thing, he was actually in the movie. They actually put him in there as a killer, as himself. He 2 times he killed people. Once in the parking lot, he killed the guy in the parking lot that was supposedly the union go-between. And then he killed the guy, Nance, I think was his name. And he went to a house in Costa Rica. He thought he would get away, and the mob guys were afraid he was going to come out of hiding to protect his son who just got busted for drugs. So they sent a team down there to kill him. He's the guy that put the gun to his head and killed him there. So
how old were you? How young were you? I should say, really, when you first developed an interest in mob culture? Would you say? Do you remember a time in your life where you weren't interested in this?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. Kind of growing up where I did, and maybe just knowing that, and I'm not trying to glamorize mob guys, by the way. It's a terrible way of life. You wind up either dead or in jail or in witness protection. Well, now it doesn't seem to matter because all the guys in witness protection all came out to have podcasts. So, but it's not a good life. It's not something I even would recommend for anyone. But as a kid, you say, wow, you're a kid. You're trying to get 25 cents for a gumball machine. Mm-hmm. And these guys are on the corner. I'll use the Bronx, use Arthur Avenue area where, in the 70s, I'm born in 68, but in the 70s, those guys on the corner and those guys would say, make sure you take care of the kids, give them the ice cream stand, buy them anything they want. And they would try to keep you off the streets and say these certain things. And so I guess it's that, and it was the allure of being 9 years old. We used to go down to this boardwalk, Kingsburg Boardwalk in New Jersey, and it was about 45 minutes out of the city. And that boardwalk was just filled with so much gambling and characters, and it was stands. Now, they had this. You don't understand. This was a big time. Back in 77, 78, I'm 9, 10 years old. And you have to remember, Atlantic City wasn't even there yet. They were just coming in. So these games of chance that they've had and by the way, it's not just Kingsburg Boardwalk. It's all the boardwalks up and down the Jersey Shore. They had games where you could play a wheel, spin a wheel, and if you land on you put quarters on your little spot, you can get candies and toys. Statues was a big thing. Statues, even cigarettes. They had cigarette stands to win cigarettes. Cigarette smoking was so popular back then. They had cigarette stands, but they also had these little games that were called skee ball, and they would actually, you take a ball and roll it up,
Everybody knows
and you
those.
get points.
Yeah.
Though, well, them points became, all these kind of stands I'm talking about became games of chance with real money at nighttime. All the operators would close, and the red light district would open up, and you'd play games for money. So I'm 9, 10 years old learning these games. Thank God my cousin, who was very smart, went to Fordham, genius guy, very wealthy today, good guy. He, in the pizza stand, my aunt and uncle owned the pizza stand. He taught me blackjack card counting at such a young age, like
Wow.
13, 14. Thank God he showed me that. He goes, and you guys want to play, you and your friends, you play blackjack head to head in the garage or whatever, you can just keep track of the 4 aces. You're going right down to the bottom. There's no cut card. And he taught me a lot of things, but it didn't matter. I was still a degen, and I still went to the racetrack and blew my money. I still blew my money on stupid things, but I always had money as a kid growing up in such a poor town, blue-collar, hard-working people, real tough town. We had a tough town we grew up in. And
But even you at that age had a leak. That's the thing.
I had a leak. Yeah. And I grew up with my father that, the Italians, my mother's family, totally corrupted them. My father would go to the racetrack all the time and take the kid, come on over, come with me. And, you develop these, he didn't know there was 25% house edge, 20% house edge. He didn't realize that, sports is only 4.5% or
He
there's
did not know
parlay
of
cards.
math.
No
Yeah.
one knew.
Yeah.
No one knew. It was just
Yeah.
something you did for fun, you think, but fun can turn into a lot of bad things. So I always tell people that I have a giant responsible gambling platform, no matter where
You've
I am.
always been
filming
great
in a
about it.
casino.
Yeah.
I don't want kids to know that to get involved. I don't want kids to even get involved with gambling. We talked about this in the past.
You and I have.
If we had kids, we wouldn't even though we're advantaged gamblers, I don't even want to.
Yep.
I don't even want them getting involved. It takes so many skill sets. So and you just have leaks all the time.
I would have to observe years of acumen or interest before I even would entertain, sort of like encouraging it to even. But it would be so tough for me to get there with a child. And I have observed, right, with teenagers, the easy accessibility is just it. And our whole lives are dedicated to this. These are people whose whole lives are dedicated to this. But at that age, your brain is just not developed enough to be able to handle the variance of it.
I was playing parlay cards at 9, 10 years old, 11 years old. I was so immersed with gambling, and it turned into problems when I was younger. Thank God I turned it all around, and casinos are throwing us out now.
Bill Krackomberger, Unscripted. It's a numbers game right here at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
College football season almost here. Betting blind is a losing strategy. Get the VSiN College Football Betting Guide free with VSiN Pro. It has previews of all 138 FBS teams, our preseason top 50 power ratings, proven betting systems, and best bets from VSiN's sharpest minds. And that is not all. VSiN Pro also gets you the NFL betting guide, the Fantasy Life Fantasy Football Guide, daily best bets, real-time betting splits, AI-powered prop projections, and 24/7 video on the VSiN Watch app. Try it today for just $9.99 or lock in a full year and save 50% with a VSiN Pro annual subscription. Head to VSiN.com/subscribe. That's VSIN.com/subscribe. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Dr. Van Nostrad also chiming in. He says, I took the he perfected it from your Derek Stevens promo, LOL. Yes, I said it during the Survivor doc, I believe is what you're saying. It seemed to sound familiar. Let's put it that way. William McCabe. Mike Rapoli is an owner, sold vitamin water and Pirates booty snacks for millions. Also the main booster for St. John's basketball.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
You know who else sold vitamin water for lots of money? It was 50 cents. No Emu Doug. I probably shouldn't say this. Say it, Crack. Say it. I think he's referring to The Offer because all of the entire feed is flooded with people talking about The Offer.
That's how good it was.
Vince Kicciello, hope I'm pronouncing that right. He says, Crack is 250% correct. The Offer, as good a show as you will ever watch.
So good.
Wow. Chance Copperpot. Bill is correct. The Offer is really good. Came out in 2022. I feel like it's something you'd get into, Gil. Decent acting, worth your time. K-Flow, Crack, 100% correct. The Offer is an excellent docudrama. Nice to meet you, K-Flow, the other day as well. Montreal Max, great having Bill bring up The Offer as I jumped on that from the premiere and started raving to Bill about it, knowing his love for the Godfather movies and the Hollywood angle, dealing with Paramount's iconic boss, Robert Evans, and then back in New York with Joe Colombo.
That's exactly a perfect explanation, and Max might be the person that turned me onto it.
That's
I just
what
don't
he's
remember.
saying. Yeah. Brock Landers talking about mob movies. Gotti, 1996 with Armand Assante.
Great movie.
He said is a standout.
One of the greatest mob movies out there is that 96 movie with Armand Assante.
Yeah.
30 years anniversary they just had here in town. Fantastic movie.
Phil Crespo, The Offer was fantastic. Just another spot-on recommendation from the Crack Man.
Thank you, buddy.
And Chance Copperbot adds, Matthew Good does a fantastic job as Robert Evans. It's worth it just for that character.
Wow, lots of responses.
Real Nicks, did Crack just say you used to be able to play skee ball for money? If we had that near me, I would have become a degenerate gambler at 8 years old instead of 16.
Oh, yeah. And just like a pool hall, you play stupid at first. You act like you're not as good as you are until the money gets out. Yeah.
Winning Streak. Great story about growing up around gambling by Crackman on VSiN with Gill. Arlington Park, my home away from home as a kid.
Nice.
And on to the
Arlington
break of
was
dawn.
I think it's in Chicago, I believe.
Hey, can we can we announce who's coming on next week, or do we not want to do that?
Sure.
Okay, please. You have the floor.
But I don't think it's going to be as big as a lot of people around me say, "Wow, this is great," because they've been around me for so many years.
Yeah.
Most people don't even know probably who Jay Cohen is. They don't even know what World Sports Exchange was. So Jay Cohen, who was one of the founders of World Sports Exchange and really one of the founders of sports betting, especially like the live markets of maybe they were Kalshi and
prediction markets
before they were. So unfortunately, I don't know the exact surroundings. I'm hoping Jay tells us on the show what happened there. And so we're going to have him on next Thursday.
Jay Cohen, one of the founders.
He just wrote a book. I think it's called Odds Man Out or Odd Man Out. I apologize, I don't have the name right now, but we will. And I heard the book was fantastic first. Before anything, I know some people that are in the industry for 30 years, and they were like, this book's unbelievable. So when the third person finally said something, I said, wow, I have to look into this. These guys don't even know each other. And sure enough, they reached out to me. I couldn't even believe it. The guy reached out to me on Twitter and said, hey, I'm Jay's publicist, and we'd love to come on a couple of your shows and talk about, Jay wants to talk about what happened and how everything went down. And so we're going to have him on next Thursday. I told Gill, I apologized at dinner to him. I said, Gill, I apologize. I'm like telling you to bring these people on. It's up to you.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I'm not thinking this listening audience here is much better for it because
a numbers game audience.
They're very enamored. They know the industry, know the business.
They know.
And let's be blunt. I hope he prepares for me. It's a live show. I told him it's a live show. Sometimes I'm a little bit too spontaneous, and I may say something that may be off color to you, meaning it's not derogatory, but it's this offshore sports betting world that we all knew back then because we only had Las Vegas to bet sports, and then you had local guys. So when this came out in the 90s, and I was there in 93, 94, 95, 96, when these sports books started popping up with the invention of the internet, and some of them didn't pay people. And WSCX is one of them.
Well, they left people holding the bag at the end. Yeah. We have to ask him about this.
Now, I say that, and I'm hoping one of you guys listening here will tweet and add something here. I didn't get screwed for anything, but maybe I knew about it, or maybe, now granted, I did absolutely lost sick amounts of money with other sports book. I think of Aces Gold, Charles Thurwanger out there in Texas screwed everybody. Think about that sports market. There was a place in Antigua, Eddie Hadid. I mean, there was a lot of people that screwed people. English sports betting, Dennis Ataya. These places, they screwed everybody.
The thing about it was you didn't expect that with World Sports Exchange.
They were on 60 Minutes.
Yeah. You thought that book was different from the ones you just mentioned.
I absolutely did think they were different.
Yeah.
They had all those customers from the 60 Minutes show when the three owners came on. And here a couple of years later, one of the owners killed himself, I believe, in the office. And I heard rumor that it was maybe some Madoff money that was stolen. I don't know. We're going to find out.
We're going to ask him.
We're going to ask him.
He won't get mad if we ask him. We got to ask him.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Why do you want to come on the show? Just to sell your book?
No,
and I'm sure it's in the book anyway.
We got to ask him.
I would think it would be in the book. So we're going to have Jay Cohen on next Thursday.
Bill Krackomberger is the best guest getter you could possibly have. Terry Watanabe, who lost
$350 million.
$350 million.
$40 cab fare to go back to the airport.
He was here with us in studio. Matt Boyer, in the middle of the whole Shohei stuff.
He came on early. Yeah.
Jeff Nadeau talking NBA betting scandal, and now Jay Cohen from World
Alan
Sports
Boston. I got him on the network with you.
Alan Boston years ago.
Thinking about it. Teddy Atlas multiple times.
Yes.
Yeah, we had fun. We had fun.
We had good times. We have always good times. Do you bet any NFL preseason? What's going on with you with preseason?
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for Circa taking 2 dimes. Some places only take it. But I have some places in town that I have 2 spots in town. Oh, actually, South Point's taking 2 dimes too. I was happy to see that yesterday. Mm-hmm. So there is a couple places in town, but there's one place taking 3,000. So that you can get down some money on preseason football. And it's usually a softer market because of, press conferences, because of social media, beat writers, and and they're smart enough to when I bet something. Here, want to see a genius move I did? I bet the Jets plus 1.5 last week. Do you know what it closed? -6.
Yeah,
loser. You're going to lose too.
Well, that last week.
Yeah, I went 4-3, but I mentioned my losses too, of course, but that was a loser. And usually week 2 and 3, we do fantastic. So I have a lot of edges. I just showed you my card at Circa. But
they're all gone now.
Yeah, there's no reason to talk about something. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Let's see. I'm thinking you could bet one thing. Okay. I hate giving out picks. Never mind. I just thought about it.
You don't want to
I'm not doing it because you lose and everyone comes after you. I just thought about it. Forget it. Sorry about that.
Don't get mad at Billy.
That's something I just really, and for all the haters out there, I just try to help. I'm just trying to help the people. I see a line that's the first half that's available, and I said, wow, maybe, for the people that are going to get mad, though, there'll be someone probably getting mad. First half, there was a money line. Let's see if it still is. It kept on moving. Yeah, best money line in the world is right here. They have Houston -125 right here at Circa, first half money line.
First half money line.
Yeah, first half money line. So they were announcing they were going to play some players a little bit deeper than maybe Las Vegas. You're a Las Vegas Raiders. No, are they? I hate this. Are the Jets and the Raiders still like the worst teams in football?
The Cardinals and the Dolphins might have something to say about that.
The Dolphins. Well, we're going to see the first week. The Dolphins are playing the Raiders, right?
Yeah, there could be some really bad teams.
There could be some really bad teams, and of course. I'm not joking. If I turn these pages to you, even though we're unscripted, I wrote things out.
Please.
Here we are. We got a minute left, and then I only have one more segment here. I seen this cash out billboard. I'm driving and seen William Hill. They had these numbers, cash out. You can cash out this number.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, how many people take the cash out that they're advertising it? We do cash outs. Really? That's wonderful. That's really nice of you to take 35% off the people. You do cash outs.
I was going to say, might as well say, we'll screw you out of some money.
I mean, really, listen, again, your audience is not the audience to be schooling on this, but be a better friend to yourself. If they're advertising something that's not a $20 limit bonus or something, because I see those advertisements too. It's like $25 or $50 limit. Some of them are actually good. But
if you think about it, the nerve of that billboard, right?
I mean,
it's like
they have the live number. We have the cash outs, and they're showing the live number. It's flashing. And I said to myself, wow, people really do this. People really take the cash out offer. So it's just a billboard I seen this morning.
That's another, that right there is another sort of endorsement for prediction markets where the ability to do that is so much better than at a legalized.
And not really
book.
endorsing prediction markets have terrible cash offers too. I'm told too.
Yeah, but you can manipulate on.
You can manipulate. All right.
Yeah. Coming back with Craig.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
It is a numbers game. Live from Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Gill Alexander. That right there, of course, is Bill Krackomberger. This whole hour, unscripted with the Crackman Bill Krackomberger. You can follow him on Twitter, @Bill Crackman. Crackman with a K. And, of course, the name of the podcast, Wise Cracks. Wisecracked, which he does with John Orlando every week. Live here from Circa as well.
Yes, we are on Circa. We film at Circa and have some great guests, great fun. Yesterday's podcast was fantastic. Just you guys, if you want to, you can go to just YouTube. Sorry, guys, I'm stuttering. YouTube. Look for put in the search Bill Krackomberger Wager Talk. You find up all my podcasts. But yesterday's was really good too. Just talking about some great things. Hey, listen, it's not a sports betting podcast. We're a Vegas lifestyle. I put my top 3 restaurants currently, 2 of which Gill and I went to the last 2 nights. But it turned into 8 restaurants. So we talked about 8 of them.
You couldn't stop at 3.
Couldn't stop at 2. I couldn't stop at 3, yeah.
Wisecracks with John Orlando. Ryan Hyatt, tremendous discussion this morning on a numbers game between Gill and Bill about the dearth of characters these days in all walks of life. Our world has become as bland as Henry Hill's spaghetti in Arizona. Thanks for the great stories. That's a Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Ray Liotta.
Egg noodles with ketchup.
Ray Liotta at Witness Protection Program. That's Henry Hill at Goodfellas. John Lerner. Hey, Gill, you're going to have to ask Jay Cohen next week how much money Crack lent him at the Palm Steakhouse one fun night in 2002.
Was that long ago? Oh, my God. 24 years ago. So I used to be part of it. Before the internet took off with Twitter, they had these forums on the internet. So I used to write for a website, RX.com.
RX, yeah.
And Jay Cohen owning World Sports Exchange, wow, that was 24 years ago. My God. So he had a gathering in Las Vegas at the Palm outside Caesars in the Forum Shops, which was the restaurant.
Still there.
Yeah, not as good as it used to be. But so he had a gathering there, and a lot of people showed up. And the bill was like $7,500 for us. There was like 50 people or whatever, you know. And Jay only brought $5,000. So
had to lend him a
I
few
don't know
bucks.
why he came to me, but he did. Jay came to me and said, "Crack, you got $2,500. I'll put it in your account. I'll give it back to you something. Whatever he did. I don't know what he did, but wow, Jonathan. I forget. How do you know that? I forgot about that.
How do you know that information, Jonathan?
Jonathan's been around. Yeah, that's right.
No, it's Jay Cohen from World Sports Exchange on next week here on the show, courtesy of Crack. What else were you written down over there?
I
know what you just said off air about the
I asked you if you know what happened.
No,
because I seen William Hill. I seen Caesars said they were doing 10-cent baseball lines. I seen Hard Rock said real, like true 10-cent baseball lines.
This is what should be on those billboards.
It should be on the billboard.
Yeah.
Right. Break at 160, go up to minus 160, come back 150. So I just came in here, I sat down outside before I came in, and I seen minus 200 on a baseball game, come back 184. I'm like, wait a minute. Since when is Circa doing that? And then I started looking at the lines. Minus 158, come back 148. I said, because they break it.
So dime lines are going way high now.
The only thing I'm thinking, this is a hypothesis from all these sites. I know Hard Rock just did it, which is a big. There's more, by the way. There's 4 or 5 of them. Now that I see this one, this is 5, I believe. I'm guessing that.
Yeah, my only conclusion.
My only conclusion is the baseball business is being eaten up by those markets you talked about earlier.
Well, duh.
Yeah.
Well, no. Also, just I mean,
why would Circa do it? They're here. Well, you know what? They are in other jurisdictions where they are legal. You're right. With the prediction markets.
I'm not talking about the prediction market stuff. That could be part of it. I wasn't even referring to that. But my hypothesis was, well, you just figured out that if you if dime lines were a dying breed and you killed them more and more every year,
right?
And we had one last holdout, right? And then
gotcha.
All of a sudden, do you finally understand that you're not going to have bettors come and bet baseball anymore?
Chris Andrews, tell him Michael, go on, Michael.
Yeah.
You killed our baseball business.
That's right.
Yeah, and then they went back to 10-cent lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it's nice to see that the public is getting a little bit better of a shake because more and more you see casinos and sports books chopping up our advantages. So it's nice to see Circa do that.
All good with 5.5 weeks left in the baseball season. Might as well. Better late than never.
Yeah, but maybe this is a good sign for next year.
Maybe
they see it, and it could be a good sign for next year. Baseball, second half of the season after All-Star break, very tough to beat. Even the groups that tried. I know when I worked for Billy Walters, me and Al in Boston, actually, at the same time, I know that he ventured one season into hockey, one season into baseball, NBA. It's so tough, baseball.
When I used to do baseball every day,
everyone stops
for Dr. Bob.
All-Star.
Usually. The 2 and 3 weeks. Some people say, "Oh, when the rosters expand, it gets hard." That was never the problem for me. August, September was never the problem. But when the 2 or 3 weeks after the All-Star game, that's when it was always squirrely. Like the numbers just go out of whack.
Right.
And I could never really pinpoint why that was. Teams just sort of, I don't know if they eased guys back in. I never really could wrap my arms around. But those, I learned to avoid those 2-3 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
Gill, I just found out about this. I listen, of course I get limited at sports books and maybe even thrown off the app. We don't want you on the app, only at the counter, whatever it may be. Or they just throw you out altogether. Now, when I say throw you out, it means they throw you off the app, but they don't trespass you. I just heard and maybe people can confirm. So some of these sports books are trespassing people for betting sports. I was like, yeah. Then they said Churchill Downs and Bet Rivers, which I heard of Bet Rivers. They're in all over the country.
Todd is at Bet Rivers all the time in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so I heard, but they're trespassing people that beat them, and this is multiple people that told me this.
Trespass, meaning physically walking you out of the building.
We want you out of the. Yeah, we want you out.
For sports betting.
This guy's trying to win. Get him out of here. Yeah.
Wow.
So I heard that, and maybe you could someone could tell.
Yeah.
Influencers. I just a little rant on influencers. How stupid they are. Some of them.
Oh, dude.
They are so. I seen an influencer say he bought 9 Ferraris off sports betting wins, and how much of a bankroll? He says he has a $500 million bankroll. I said, wait a minute, hold on, time out. Let's say $50 million. Which sports book is letting you win 9 Ferraris and $50 million? However, I think I'll say this: they're making so much money because the followers that buy into this are just stupider than him.
So you and I have talked about this in different forms through the years. We will never be able to combat the human instinct of looking at somebody else's alleged fame and fortune.
Could be AI even. Yeah.
And people get so drunk, amazed by this. And from Vegas Dave to this guy that you're talking about, I talked about that HBO documentary that was that never got off the ground, where I spent the day with a couple influencers.
Yep.
And the dude was like, I'm the biggest football bettor in the world. And I was like, walk me through that. Oh yeah, I just bet $1 million on it. I was really, where'd you bet? Oh, they all take it. And he ended up in jail. Of course he did, right? But people are mesmerized by these types, and no matter how much you and I bring it up, we'll never be able to combat it.
No, absolutely not. Oh, another thing, driving home last night, so Nifty told me another story about the Leonard Skinner had that plane crash. It killed many members, including the
lead
founder.
Singer. The founder, Van Zandt.
Well, yeah, Van Zandt. So Nifty says to me, that Leonard Skinner plane, we were all in that like multiple times, and even Frank was like, this plane is just no good. I was like, wait a minute.
Really?
Nifty, you never told me this story on air or anything?
They were in that.
He said, yeah, we used that plane a couple times. He said, that plane was we knew it was no good. The plane just had terrible vibrations. I was like, wow, that's unbelievable.
I didn't hear that story.
It's a new story from Nifty. I was like, wow.
It was Ronnie Van Zandt was the lead singer and founder, who was, I think, one of 2 members killed. Don't hold me to that. But that was, if you watch like Leonard Skinner Behind the Music, they go through it in detail.
Fantastic.
But the other thing that Nifty said, which is also doubly alarming about that, is one of the things he says about Sinatra was that Sinatra, despite weather, would always want to
a book after the plane. Let's get out of here.
Aggressively tell the pilot, I don't care. Let's just get out of here.
Fly above the clouds.
Fly
with
above
the helicopter.
The clouds. We'll get through it.
How lucky did he get? No, I mean, seriously, nothing happened. He said the pilot said it's going to be a little bit rough and it's raining, and he said fly above the clouds. Sinatra said,
and he got lucky.
Got lucky.
He got lucky. And then combine that with the fact that they had the Leonard Skinner plane at times.
Yeah. Real quick before we go off air. So I used to love the Cirque du Soleil shows. That was at the Mirage. The Beatles show was great. Mystere, that's at Treasure Island still. I think it's a must-see for anybody.
Really?
I love Mystere.
Never been.
Oh, it's fantastic. We're going to go then. It's just, if you like music and show and just the visual you get. So the show capacity for these shows are down so much that shows are closing. They just closed one of the Cirque du Soleil shows.
The attendance, you mean?
The attendance.
Oh, wow.
So they're down to averaging 35% attendance. Like, you have to pay multiple performers for that. Wow. I don't know what happened here, but like Mystere, K.O. are the big ones in town. Yeah. Mystere is a definite must-see, because now that I hear this, they have to be losing money. I don't think Mystere loses money. But, the stage just starts moving, people hanging off of it.
I've seen Ka, they're incredible.
Mystere, so you like that kind of abstract. I have to watch, when I watch it, I find things every time differently. I've seen it many times.
I haven't been in years.
I just hope they all don't close. I really enjoy those type of shows. And And get out there, and when you come to town, see Mysteria, and there's some discount tickets on the internet.
Bill, we've run out of time. Prop Points is next. Enjoy from VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, in our NFL Futures Draft later today, 2 p.m. Pacific. Let's go.